Let me give you a few things to think about with your singing technique. When I do technique masterclasses and courses, I break technique down into three major areas: breathing, support, and placement. When I see a client for the first time, they'll often know quite a bit about breathing. They know that it's important to take a big deep breath in, to take enough air into the body, and to control the release of that air carefully. They may even know a little bit about the diaphragm, but quite often they'll think the diaphragm is down here, whereas actually it's up here underneath the lungs. And when we take a slow, low diaphragmatic breath, the diaphragm goes down and the tummy goes out. And that is the major rule for good breathing for singing. You take a slow, low breath in, the diaphragm goes down, and we feel expansion around the waist with the tummy going out. The second major area of singing technique is support, and an area that less people really know about when they come in to see me for the first time. Quite simply, support is where the voice gets its strength from. Quite often we see people come in with a lot of strain around the head and neck area. And what's happening there is the voice is trying to hit a higher note or is trying to be louder. And the voice needs muscles and strength to do that. And the body's natural reaction is to give those muscles here around the neck. When we train as singers, we have to take it out of here and make sure that everything around the head and neck is loose and relaxed. But we have to replace those muscles with strength from elsewhere. And so we put that muscular support in down here, from the core muscles, the abdominal muscles, all the way around to the lateral muscles at the back. And it's those muscles gently squeezing, gently contracting, that provide the voice with the support, control, power, and projection that it needs. The combination of really good breathing technique and support from the core muscles lays a really solid foundation for great singing. And so I tend to focus on those areas for a while when I'm working with a new singer. The third major area of singing technique is placement, is where does the sound go after it's produced. In the same way as when we pluck a string on the guitar, the sound moves into the hollow sound box, moves around the sound box and comes out a nicer sound. The sound is produced here at the vocal folds, the vocal cords. Then it has to move to a space, a resonator, to become smoother, richer, and more colourful before we release it. After it's produced here, it can go down onto the chest, it can go into the open throat, it can go into the bridge of the nose and the cheekbones, or it can go across the mask as a whole. And depending on which resonator we move to, we create different colours, different textures, and different tones to the voice. I highly recommend that you start to think about these different techniques, but of course technique isn't everything. Once the technique is working automatically, I need you to relax and focus on the performance, telling a story and connecting with your audience.